So here's a quick spontaneous video, and it's all about range in terms of your striking. Especially when shadow boxing, it's easy to just not think of range, to go from like this to this, which is fine if you visualize your opponent evading the jab by moving in and then they're in range for an uppercut. I often do this, and sometimes I forget about imagining the kind of range your opponent is in. So rather you might do something like a jab and a step in uppercut or something. Or you might just pick between long shots, combos, if your opponent is staying in that range. Or something like a shorter range combo. So it's important to keep in mind. Also when putting together kicks, I like to do something like, it could be a front kick to a side kick. That makes sense in terms of range because either you're connecting with the front kick and it's pushing your opponent back for the side kick, or perhaps he's seeing the front kick and retreating and your side kick might still connect. But if you were to doing it in the reverse order, like it would be a side kick to a front kick, then that's very unlikely to land because you've got a long range kick and then a shorter range kick. So that's something to keep in mind when doing your strikes. Try and think about range, make sure it makes sense. There's all kinds of things you can do to move in or out of range, like you can do a step and change stance, or you could do the opposite. And you could also do something like a jumping front kick or something to close the distance, or it could be a jumping knee or something. But it's just important to think of, and if you're shadow boxing, you can also visualize your opponent blocking and doing something and moving in, and then you're gonna try and close the distance. Try and see if you can do something on them. Even like if it's a street fight, you can do something in terms of the range, then scan the environment and walk away. But just to stay on topic, here's something I've been doing in sparring. I've been doing this combo at times, like changing levels with a cross, going for a hook and setting up. So this is a spontaneous recording and my phone just rang. So I have to do a second take and just continue, but we were interrupted at... Alright, so my alarm just went off and it stopped the recording, but we're just going to continue. I was talking about this combo which I've been using a lot in sparring lately, and it's a lot of fun, but I've been only connecting at times with the kick and for the most part missing, especially with the punches. So it's like a cross, a hook and a high kick. So the reason why I've been doing this is that I'm changing levels with the cross, and then the hook punch is masking the high kick. So I really haven't emphasized connecting with the hands, I've just been using them as feints. But thinking in terms of range, I'm going to try and apply this adjustment to actually connect or pose more for threat with the hands and see how it goes with the kick in sparring. And the adjustment would be to shoot in with the feet. For this one, do it like this. So I'm going to experiment with how much I need to step in, but at first I want to step in pretty close because I'm missing with the cross by quite a margin, especially because it's not a lead hand strike, it's a rear hand strike. So I really need to shoot in, and then possibly if I connect here and the opponent hasn't retreated or anything, then of course this kick won't be available. Then I'm going to do something else. It might be something like, or what have you. But it could also be simply that I'm doing this and connecting with the strikes, but next time I try it out, my opponent is more mindful, and so he actually blocks, and perhaps he blocks on the cross and or gets hit, but he catches this one, the hook, and then he retreats, and then it sets him up perfectly for that lead high kick. Could also be if I notice that the range is just slightly off, rather than do the lead kick, I'm going to interrupt it again. I guess that's the thing with spontaneous videos, but as I just said, if the range is slightly off upon doing this thing, so then rather than the lead kick, I could simply go for a rear kick. And of course with the kick, there's all kinds of versions. If I need a little more range, I can do this rather than simply pivoting a bit. And could also do something like for more rotation, but less, but also more commitment if I miss the strike. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want me to share my more spontaneous thoughts like this in an unprepared video. I think there's some interesting pointers to work on. Thanks for watching.
After years of free content, I need a helping hand from some of you. You can support me with $3 each month or 5 or 10 for a few extra benefits. Thanks for listening. Visit my Patreon, that's patreon.com/Zen-Dragon.